Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday, and thankfully here in the UK things are cooling down a little bit, actually quite considerably, considering that we hit over 40 degrees I think in the last live stream, or at least during the day of the last live stream. So yes, things are cooling down, which is good. I think we're about 15 degrees cooler than that at the moment. We might be going up to about 30 degrees, a little bit more than that later on, maybe next week, as we get through next week. But hopefully not anywhere near how hot it was before. So that is good. We are fine. I haven't got the fan on at the moment, so everything is just about okay in the studio on a heat measurement factor. I'm not sure how hot it gets in the room, but yeah, we're going to be moving forward as we usually do with tonight's live stream without any excessive volume in the hair. I mean, it's always got a little bit of volume to it, but fortunately not. When you look back at some of these videos when I was performing and doing that live stream gig, the hair just got bigger and bigger as the time went on with that particular live stream. By the end of it you almost couldn't see my face because it's just engulfed by hair. So mentioning hair, let's get that out really early in this live stream because we always seem to mention hair. Definitely time for a haircut. It's the center parting starting to come along, just so that I can see what's going on. And yeah, this is the problem. Sometimes there's a little bit of hair in the middle that is over on one side, but it wants to go on the other side, so it never seems to split directly down the middle. There's always some hairs that want to just get over to the other side for some reason, even though they don't belong there, but we're just going to have to deal with it. Let me get you guys up on screen in that live chat room. Let's see who is in the house tonight. We have DCMC, Rock Girl, Robert, Charlie, they're going through too quickly. Karen, Terry, Neil, Kathy, Bonnie's in there as well, Linda, Tammy, Dan, Susan and Dennis moderating in the house, and a lunatic or something, lunatic fringe. Certainly that's what I've got going on tonight. But hello everyone, thank you for joining me on this Saturday night. I hope you've had a fantastic day and that your weekend is going well. Let me get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this possible in the first place, and they really are the foundation of everything that I do, and their names go across all of the live streams throughout the live streams. So a massive shout out to you guys, you know who you are, and a big shout out to the moderators as well. You saw Susan and Dennis going through a second ago, and there they go through again. We've got Neil in there, and Carla and Laurie. You'll see the moderators' names in blue with a wrench next to their names, so a big shout out to them for doing such a fantastic job throughout these live streams that we have on a Saturday and a Tuesday, 12 midnight British summertime. Just put that into Google if you want to join me live, to make sure that you do actually join me live and that you haven't missed it, and then commenting in the comment section rather than commenting in the live chat room, which are the comments that are happening live right now at 10 minutes past midnight here in the UK. Right, tonight we are going to be having a pick roulette, and we are going to be having a Moises app roulette for the first time, so stay tuned for that. It means that the winner of that particular roulette will get the premium subscription to the Moises app. I did a video recently on the Moises app. You can check that out on the channel if you want to, but it's for musicians. But also, if you just know someone who's a musician, you can just pass it over to them and give them a year's worth use of the premium content for free. And usually it's something that you have to pay for monthly, or you can pay for a whole year, but we're giving away those for free to a lucky winner later on, so stay tuned for that. Okay, let me get all of the things up on screen that we need to have. First of all, we have our likes goal tonight of 410, which again is the highest. I mean, I think the last 3 Saturdays in a row have been the highest likes goals that we've ever had. So it is a bit ridiculous, but we will see if we can reach it by the end of the live stream, 410. And if you can leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be much appreciated to get us off to the strongest start possible for tonight's live stream. Let me get the likeometer up on screen to see that we've already had 162 likes. So thank you guys for doing that. It's a good start. If you haven't used a thumbs up token, if you could do that, now would be a great time to do that. So let me get the donations tab up on screen as well. I always say you don't have to donate during these live streams or donate at all. Just watching the live streams and watching the channel in general is good enough for me. But if you can't resist it, a breakdown of the percentages are up on screen. I think it's important that people do know the splits that happen on YouTube. Between 35 and 45% goes to YouTube, and through PayPal between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal. So there's a PayPal link in the description below if you're looking for that, and the super chat window or the super chat donations are at the bottom of the comment section, or the live chat room as we call it on the live streams, just on YouTube, and there's a little sign or a dollar sign or something at the bottom that you can click on, but it's up to you, just so you know the splits. And yeah, the PayPal one's in the description below if you need that one, but you don't need to donate. Let me just stress that. Right, and I can see that donations are coming in already, so thank you guys for those. I mean, they are very much appreciated, but not a necessity for this live stream, for tuning in. It's just open to everybody, and this is the great thing about the live streams, that we just get to know each other. If you are new to the live streams, just introduce yourself into that live chat room. Everyone will say hello, and we just get to know each other, and it's such a great community during these live streams. Thank you guys for making it such a great place to be, and again, shouting out to the moderators for doing such a great job in there as well. So I am going to just jump into the donations that came in before we went live, and we have the usual suspects here because I can see that Orlando donated $5. Thank you for that, Orlando. And Orlando said 27th like, and we're on 196 at the moment, so that was quite a while ago. And the message continued, hit that like button with some thumbs up. So great idea there by Orlando. And let's have a plug of the mug, as we always do with Orlando's donation or Paul's donation. And if you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, then you might have a tray underneath this video that you can click on any of the items there. It will take you through to the store. But if you don't have a tray underneath this video, there's a link in the description below as well. And yeah, you can also head over to, I said description in a slightly funny way there. I don't know what took me over there. It was some kind of, you know, character from a cartoon or something. So the description below, if you want to head over to wingsofpegasus.com/merch, then you can find other merchandise there, such as, you know, earrings and just guitar picks, guitar necklaces, whatever you're looking for. Okay, that's enough silly voices for tonight's live stream. We're going to call that to a close at 14 minutes past the live stream. Oh, also mentioning the title of tonight's live stream, I said that we're going to be going live, and, you know, join me for music chat. We always talk about things music based, but it tends to be a little bit loosely based on music, and sometimes we go down different avenues. Some of those avenues before have been, you know, diet and exercise, and yeah, because of my background as a personal trainer when I was 18 or 19 years of age, I did that after I got out of college, and then it was between college and university that I did personal training because I studied sport and exercise science at college, and then did the personal training, and then studied at a university as well. So yes, I've got that background of, you know, health and fitness and all that kind of stuff. Even though it was a long time ago, I have retained a bit of information, and that certainly helps me when I'm exercising, because it means that I can cut a lot of corners and do the absolute minimum required to stay in shape. And I very much do that, even though I haven't exercised for 7 or 8 months. It might be a little bit longer than that because of my tendon injury that everybody knows about with my right arm. But the good thing is that it's healed enough for me to play guitar. So that is always my first objective, is to get back to playing the guitar. But it has recovered enough to do that, which is good. It hasn't fully recovered. I think it's still going to be a matter of months before I have full range of motion back without any kind of sensitivity with the area where the tendon is. But anyway, somebody mentioned over on Patreon about any tips in order to lose, I think it was fat around the tricep area or the back of the arm. And this is something that I have mentioned, the term that we call it here in the UK, bingo wings, because it's something that shakes when people play bingo. And I don't know whether everybody knows how bingo works, but they call out numbers. I think there's 100 numbers, and they call out different numbers, and you have a particular amount of numbers in a box that's on your bit of paper, and you just have to cross them off. And whenever you've finished crossing off all of the numbers, you put your arm up and you have to shout bingo. And generally, the people that are doing it are so excited, and I think most of the population, or at least most of the population in the UK that take part in bingo, I think the majority is female. So the female players, when they get very excited, they hold their arm up and they shake their arm up and down, shouting bingo, because they want to get the person's attention, because they want to be the first one to have crossed off all the numbers. Because if you don't call out first, then somebody else might call out before you. So they get very excited. But of course, in the shaking of the arm, if they've got anything under here, that's the wing, the bingo wing, that moves left and right. So that's why they're called bingo wings here in the UK. But anyway, so I'm going to try and, we will get the fitness section out of the way early on in the live stream. So yes, it was asked over on Patreon, how do I get rid of tricep fat or something along those lines? I'm going to refer to it as a bingo wing because that's what we call it here in the UK. So the first thing to mention is that if you have any excess fat stored around your body, and the way to, I'm going to try and explain it, it's a really simple equation for any excess calories that you take in. So for example, generally every day a person will naturally burn a certain amount of calories. So let's take me as an example. I would say that, and you can do an equation to figure out exactly how many calories, or at least an approximation of how many calories your body burns a day, just being itself. So all of the calories that I need to, if I'm getting hot and I have to sweat, or if I'm cold and I need to shiver to warm up, that all takes calories. So just moving my eyes, moving my hands, moving my arms, concentrating, this all takes fuel. So you burn a certain amount of calories every day. So let's say between 800 and 1,000, I'm going to approximate for myself that I burn every day just being a human. So regulating temperatures, all of that kind of stuff. So it means that anything that I take in over the top of that will be stored somewhere, and that depends on the kind of calories that you take in. And I'm not going to get into simple carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates, but generally, if you want to go deeper with it, look at nutrition, then you'll find that some calories are more likely to get stored than other calories. For example, if you have a high protein diet, or if you eat anything that's high in protein, generally you're not going to store that, because if you don't use it to repair cells, that's pretty much what it does. So that's why bodybuilders eat a lot of protein, because they have to repair their muscles. Anyway, if you're eating mostly protein, if you don't use all of that protein, then it just gets removed and it just goes straight through your system. But if you're eating carbohydrates, for example, which are high in calories anyway, because they contain a lot of energy, and when you take in complex carbohydrates, for example, it's slow release energy, which means that if you don't use that energy, and I think a lot of people will know the kinds of foods I'm talking about here, like bread, having, a pasta as well, they generally release energy over a long period. If you don't burn that energy off, it gets stored somewhere, and that's where it gets converted to fat, and then it gets stored. Simple carbohydrates are like bananas, high in sugar, sweets, chocolate, all that kind of stuff. If you eat that, then you've got to burn it off quickly. It's a quick release carbohydrate. If you don't burn it off quickly, that means it gets stored. So this is why if you're eating a lot of sugar, that sugar then eventually gets converted to fat, and it's got to get put somewhere on the body. So yeah, protein goes straight through. Everything else pretty much will get stored somewhere. And you got saturated fats. You got unsaturated fats. So the way that fats are stored are different. Saturated means that it's going to get just plonked on your body somewhere, and it's just going to be a mass of fat, whereas unsaturated fats means that they help to lubricate your arteries, things like that. It can be useful to have unsaturated fat, and that's why changing your saturated fat for unsaturated fat is a good move, generally because it means that you're now going to use those fats to your advantage to help your arteries rather than block them with saturated fat, because that's what that happens. It's kind of sticky, it gets stuck, and yeah, blocking arteries is not a good idea. Right, let me just try and take this back to being really simple. So your body uses a certain amount of calories every day. If you take in any more calories than that, it gets stored somewhere on your body. So the things that will increase the amount of calories your body needs every day is movement. So to think of this really simply, I saw a documentary on anorexia, and it's a horrible disease, and they were following, I think it was just women that they were following who were suffering with the disease. And there was, one girl, but I think probably a few of them that were doing a lot of movements. And this one girl was kind of doing this, and she was constantly kind of shaking and moving. And then I can't remember who I was watching it with, but they said, she's obviously got some kind of, muscular disease as well. And I said, no, what she's doing is she's got anorexia. She's burning calories. So she's doing anything she can movement wise, because the disease was so far gone, that she was so determined to burn any calories on her body that she could. She would be moving and just moving any part of her body literally 24/7 to burn calories. So that's the example that I'm going to use, that the more movement you do, the more calories you burn. So if you take in, say for example, 1,500 calories, and between 800 and 1,000 calories, you're going to burn that off naturally. So 500 gets stored somewhere unless you move enough to burn 500 calories. So you could literally, when you're sitting down, just move your arms a little bit or just move your upper body, and you're going to be burning more calories. So generally what happens is, as people age, they do less movement. And I know that a lot of people say, and my parents always said to me, you wait, when you hit 30 years of age, you will start to get fat. There's nothing you can do about it. Your metabolism slows down, and you will put on, you'll get stomach fat and all these kinds of things. But through my experience now, being almost 40, I found that my waist size hasn't changed at all. If anything, I've lost I've actually gone the other way. So my waist is about 28 inches. And this is a problem for me buying clothes, because pretty much most guys are 32 inches and above, but I'm around 28. So it means that, my waist has never changed. But I think that certainly the amount of movement I'm doing as I'm getting older has reduced, because when I was 20 years of age, I know that I was training twice a week for football, 3 times a week resistance training, and I played 3 football matches. So I crammed that all into a week. So it meant that I was burning a hell of a lot more calories than I am now. And it's not, metabolism does slow down a little bit, but it's not all to do with, I'm just getting old. If you analyze how much you moved when you were younger, I guarantee you it was more than you're doing now. So that's just something that is just a fact of life. Anyway, turning into a long explanation here, but so these channels on YouTube, fitness channels that say how to blitz fat from your triceps or how to blitz fat from your stomach, all of these things are lies. You can't pinpoint where your body burns fat from. Once you start exercising, once you start burning more calories, then your body will burn fat from wherever it stores it. It doesn't decide, oh, now I'm going to do it. Oh, I'm going to get rid of this bit of fat on my arm. It just takes it from wherever. So, and this is the great thing about fat. It is a great storage for energy. There's loads of energy in fat. So if you start moving around more, then you'll find that you'll start to burn more calories that are, produced by, but stored, all of the calories stored in fat. So you're just going to have to start moving more and, slow, low intensity exercise for long durations are going to burn fat, but it's also been found that if you do short high intensity bursts of fitness or exercise, then that will burn just as much fat, if not more, than doing something for a very long period. But I would say that if you're just getting into fitness and you're just trying to burn calories, then it's going to be a case of doing it really slowly. You don't want to go straight into sprinting and you might be overweight and your body isn't used to it and your joints won't be used to the impact. So yeah, just start out slowly. You gradually want to just increase the amount of calories you burn day on day. And ideally, if you can start reducing the amount of calories you take in, then you're going to start burning those calories twice as fast because you're not adding more calories to the calories you're trying to burn off. So yeah, but even just increasing your output of just movement every day will start to burn more calories. So yeah, this is the other thing that it's trying to burn it from a particular, people that might want to burn fat from their triceps might start doing some kind of, tricep resistance exercise. That's not going to burn fat. All it's doing is there are muscles underneath the skin and underneath the fat. If you've got any stores of fat, the muscle's going to be underneath that. So it means that all you're doing is exercising the muscle underneath the fat. The fat's still going to be there. It's why guys that do loads and loads of sit-ups or crunches for their abs still can't see their abs, is because the fat is in front of there. If you've got the really big storage of fat around your belly area, it doesn't matter how many sit-ups you do, you won't see, you might feel the muscles underneath and think, oh yeah, it's really solid, but you won't see the definition of each muscle because there's a fat layer on top of that you have to burn away first. You have to get rid of that, and then you'll see these amazing muscles underneath because if you've been working on them, they still will be building underneath. So this is the other thing, that where you store muscle, where you store fat, in front of your muscle varies. Some guys, most guys actually store it around the stomach, so they kind of lose their six-pack is the first thing to go. But other people might, store it on their back or their legs or the back of the arms. It all depends. It's just genetic as to where you store it, and wherever that fat is, wherever it gets stored, your body will just start burning it in different places. You can't choose where that happens. So yeah, it's really simple. That it's just a case of calories taken in, the amount of movement you're doing to burn calories, and just the offset between those numbers. If you're taking in too many calories, then you will store fat. And as much as people say, oh, it's genetic and it's metabolism, and some people have a slow metabolism than other people, there have been scientific studies that show that the actual rate of metabolism between one person and another person doesn't vary that much. It's only literally a single percentage from one person to the next person. It's just lifestyle. It's just how much you move and how much you eat. For example, taking my diet into the equation, because as I said, I haven't really changed in 30 years. So my diet today, I had a bowl of cornflakes for breakfast, which means that that's about 200 to 300 calories. I then had a chocolate bar, which was 200 calories, and a cup of tea, which is probably about 50 calories, maybe a bit less than that. So it means that I'm up to about 450, 500 calories. And then for dinner, I had a piece of toast, which is 100 calories, and 3 rashers of bacon. So that's probably around 300 to 400 calories, and then 2 eggs. And I'm going to say 200 calories for that, even though that's overestimating it. So it means that I'm probably roughly in and around between 800 and 1,000 calories for today's intake that I've had, and that is it. I don't tend to eat a lot. I'm quite busy during the day doing lots of different things, answering messages, doing admin, planning videos, all that kind of stuff. So it means that the amount of calories I've taken in today I am using to just be a human. Whereas if I took in maybe 1,500 or 2,000, then my waist would start to expand. And I'm assuming, I think that I do store fat around my waist, at least going genetically from my dad, because that's what he does. The other thing is that I don't drink alcohol. Alcohol is a huge, a calorie source. Like guys and girls that drink alcohol will find that they store a lot of fat because it's just like pure carbohydrates. You're drinking almost like a marathon runner would eat carbohydrates. You're drinking all that. And the other thing is that the calories from alcohol increase the amount of estrogen in your system. So for guys, it means that if you start drinking alcohol, you'll start to store fat in more female places rather than just guys who have it around the gut. They'll start to, store it around their chest area. So yeah, you start to get a bit of a different look to the male body. I've mentioned the term that we have in the UK here as well called man boobs. So yeah. That's what happens when you drink alcohol. Your body changes in how it stores the fat in terms of where it puts it. So yeah, I just don't like alcohol. So that's my reason, not that I do it from a fitness perspective. I just don't like the taste of it. So I don't have that problem. If I did drink alcohol, I'm sure that it would push it up and beyond my 800 to 1,000 calories a day that I might take in. So anyway, hopefully that explains it. I know that I've been talking a lot just about the whole fitness thing, but this is it. It's a really simple equation. You just assume that you need between 800 to 1,000 calories a day, and just go through all of your foods that look on the packaging, see how many calories, and make sure that you're looking at not the foods per 100 grams. Make sure you're kind of trying to approximate how much the weight of the food is that you're eating and how many calories it has in it, because it might be the case that you might have a pizza that's 1,000 calories, and that wouldn't even be a big pizza. That's maybe one that you can buy in yourself and it's very easy for one person to eat, but that'll be the amount of calories your body needs for the whole day. It means that anything else you eat is going to get added to that, and if you're not burning that off, if you're not doing some kind of extra movement through exercise, or just doing a long walk, or maybe doing a brisk walk somewhere for maybe 20 minutes or half an hour, if you're not burning off those extra calories, it is getting stored. And you can imagine that even just 200 or 300 calories every day, if you take that for a week, you times it by 7, times that by 14 for 2 weeks, or for a month, times it by 30 days of the week, times 30 then by 12, and you start getting some ridiculously big numbers of the amount of calories you're taking in that are extra to what your body's using every day. So this is why generally year on year you might find that you might look at yourself and think, oh, what's happened? How have I got to this point? It's just a gradual, extra 100 or 200 calories a day for, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. It really will stack up. So it's just a case of, and the great thing is it is reversible, that once you know that equation, you can start just eating for the demands, or you can start either reducing your intake of food, or what tends to happen more is increase your exercise or your movement. If you can increase your movement and you're only taking in maybe 1,000 calories a day, then you'll have that deficit. You'll have to make up calories. Your body will say, oh, we haven't got enough energy from the food we've just eaten today. Where can we get this energy from? And then the body says, oh, hang on, what's this stuff over here? This is really calorie dense, this fat stuff. We're going to use that. So then your body will start using fat, and sure enough, it will start disappearing. It might take a long time, but if you think about 3 or 5 years to put on to get to that point, then it might take the great thing is that if you dedicate yourself for maybe 8 to 12 weeks, you can make a significant impact on even 3 years or 4 years worth of, overeating or having too many calories. So that's the good thing, that, it's never too late. You can always reverse it. But there we go. There is tonight's fitness live stream for you guys. We are going to be getting back into the music and back into donations. Thank you guys for these. The ones that came in before we went live. Paul also said, donated $2 and says, despite the likes, like Orlando asked 37th like. So thank you for that, Paul. And by the way, we are voting for a cover tonight. We have between, I think, Don't Slow Down and A Design for Life. So those are the two that you'll be able to see at the top of the live chat room. So just click on the one that you want to see later on. It is 36 minutes past midnight here. So I am going to be, I'm going to have to be swift with moving from one thing to the next to make sure that we get everything done for tonight and get that pig roulette in. But I do want to address the donations. I think then Laura donated $1.99. So thank you for that, Laura. I'm just going to make sure that I refresh the screen in front of me so that I didn't miss any between when we went live and then when the kind of live stream started. Sometimes when the super chat starts and then the live stream starts, there's a gap where we miss out on them. So I'm just going to have a look, and yes, I think we're okay. So Laura then donated $1.99 with what it looks like a guy with a head that's a lemon. So thank you for that, Laura. And Jennifer donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Jennifer. The message is, Phil, the guys in the band with you on Haunted, what are they all doing nowadays? And there are girls who would kill for your hair. Take care. So thank you for that, Jennifer. And as to what the guys are doing, I know that Griff is in a band with his brother now. It's just them, and we looked at their video recently here on a live stream. I can't remember Chris. Oh yeah, Chris Chris was on the live streams as well. So Chris was kind of doing his own musical project, and then Nosy, who I'm not sure what Nosy is doing now. He was drumming or teaching drums for Yamaha, but then he moved away, I think, to do session work, so he might still be doing that. So, I mean, that's all I know to the best of my ability. I haven't really kind of chased up and asked everybody what they're doing, but yeah, certainly they're only a message away for catching up with that. So thank you for that, Jennifer. And Kaylin, I couldn't make out. I thought it said Kathleen, but it's Kaylin who donated $20 as well. Thank you for that, Kaylin, in the super chat window. And that was a straight up donation. And then Stardust Unicorn support band to Wings of Pegasus have donated $10 as well, and that is a straight up donation. Thank you for that. And then Paul has donated $5 again. So thank you for that, Paul. And the message is, I wonder if the new band Bingo Wings could open for Wings of Pegasus and Stardust Unicorn. Asking for a friend. Don't worry, Billy won't say it's you. So thank you for that, Paul. Great idea. We're having quite a good lineup at the moment for Guffest. So we've got Bingo Wings, who opened the show, and then Stardust Unicorn, keep everything going, and then Wings of Pegasus at the moment for the headline, it seems like. So thank you for that. And Simply Sky Blue just donated $19.99. Thank you for that. And the message is, could you please do a review sometime on Alanis Morissette live performance on the song Uninvited? Love you and your work. So thank you for that. And I think Alanis is here somewhere. I seem to remember doing a video at some point in the past. I can't remember exactly how far back, but you might be able to have a search for that, unless it's one of those that might have been blocked on copyrights or removed on copyrights after the fact. Sometimes, a few months after the event they happen, and I can't keep track on those videos that do get removed. But you might be able to have a search for that on the channel, but I will just add that one to my list anyway. So thank you for that. Right, I know that there have been PayPal donations as well, so thank you guys for those. Quickly, just to address the ones that came through before we went live. On Friday morning at 10:48, Roderick donated £3, so thank you for that, Roderick. and I'm just going to scroll up because Tammy then donated £10, so thank you for that, Tammy. And the message is, hi Phil, I was wondering, when your arm completely heals, do you plan on making more cover songs and a new CD, with a smiley face? So thank you for that, Tammy. And I mean, at the moment, my arm is pretty much okay. For keys, kind of stretching is still a little bit sensitive. So yeah, that's not something that I'm going back to yet. But in terms of playing, and obviously, singing is fine. It's not really the case on, planning and doing more cover songs and a new CD. It's very much, I'm keeping up with everything basically at the moment. When I did the album before, I had 1,500 subscribers and, might get 1 or 2 messages every day. And, with the cover songs as well, I spend maybe a week or 2 on those. So it meant that I could then play the whole track, all of the instruments, mix it all together and then release it for that particular month. Whereas, and everything that I was doing there was proactive, just trying to get my music out there, messaging people, hoping that they might spend a little bit of time and maybe listening to a track or 2. So it's very much, it's you doing as much as you can to get people to maybe message you back and say, oh, I did listen to your CD and all those kinds of things. But at the moment, everything's reactive, so I'm trying to keep up with everything that's coming in, because the difference between having 1,500 subscribers and 266,000 subscribers is quite a difference in workload, considering that it's still just me doing it all. So yeah, it's not really the case that I have time to kind of sit down and plan things that I'm going to be doing. I'm just at the moment just keeping up with everything. I think if I had time to plan stuff, or for the time to be available for me to plan stuff, I would probably need some kind of help on the admin side. But again, this is really difficult because everything that I do is done by me, so it means that any questions about fitness, but about music and about guitars and amps and effects and auto-tune, pitch correction, all these different questions that I get asked, if I had somebody else answering those questions, they wouldn't know the answer. Like, say for example, my mum, who has worked as a secretary at a school for many years, say for example she said, okay, I'm going to be your secretary, and I say, oh great, and then she'll say, okay, the first message we've had come in is asking what's the difference between auto-tune and pitch correction. The next email we've got coming in is somebody asking, what did they used to use back in the 60s and the 70s in order to change pitch? And of course, my mum wouldn't know about vari-speed, which is something that they used to use to increase the speed of tape and then decrease the speed of tape to then correct pitch back in the day when they used to work with tape and analog. She wouldn't know about auto-tune, so she wouldn't be able to answer these questions. So this is the problem, that it's really specific, the stuff that I do get asked about through emails. So yeah, at the moment I just keep up myself and just am reacting to everything that's coming through and just about keeping up every day. But I'm not kind of proactively, I don't have time to just, say for example, take a week to plan and record a cover video. I did have, I did squeeze in a quick re-recording of the logo jingle, so that's something I did manage to do. That took me maybe 3 or 4 hours just recording it, and then I realized that what I recorded I didn't really like the sound of the next day, so then I redid it. So I did have a tiny bit of time available to do that, but yeah, it's just finding the time. If I had time, then yeah, in a perfect world, say for example somebody said, okay, we're going to invent another 2 days of the week, and for those 2 days nobody is going to send an email or do a comment or anything, and you'll have that free time, then yeah, I might kind of get started on maybe getting down another cover song, but then it would take probably about a week or 2 weeks, so it'll take 14 days. So even still, it'd take, what would that be, 7 weeks for me to get it down if I had just 2 extra days a week. But it's not the way it works. I'm quite happy at the moment just keeping up with everything, and seeing you guys on a Tuesday and a Saturday doing the analysis videos, occasionally teaching as much as I can. And by the way, tomorrow's video is going to be more of a teaching video. So it's not really going to be an analysis video, even though it will be a case of people analysing their own guitar playing. But, now and again, I do, like to do videos like that just to help people and, teach people how to maybe become a little bit better at playing their lead solos if they need any help, maybe to point them in a particular direction. So yeah, that's the video that's going to be coming up tomorrow. And I enjoy doing videos like that as well. So it's not as if I'm sitting here thinking, oh yeah, I'm getting I've got loads of subscribers, getting loads of emails, loads of people are buying my music and my album, but I'm really annoyed that I can't do cover songs and I can't do a new CD. I'm quite happy that people are buying the CD that I've done, and I'm quite happy that people are watching the covers as well. So yeah, it's not as if I feel like I'm in a bad situation at all. I'm quite happy just keeping up with everything and interacting with you guys, in a live setting, but just in the comment section on YouTube. Anyway, thank you for that, Tammy. And I can see that there has been another donation, the super chat window from Anna. So thank you for that, Anna. That is a $10 donation. The message is, I can't be here tonight. First time ever. I have a sick horse that needs me. Love and warm hugs to everyone. So thank you for that, Anna. And yeah, I hope the horse gets better. And yeah, horses, they are, for me, not that we're going to be talking about horses now on the live streams, but they, for me, are kind of genetically probably the perfect specimen to look at lean muscle mass, considering, their genetics, just the way that they have that lean muscle mass. And, what do they eat? Hay and grass. So yeah, they're not taking in any fat, but because of their genetics, they have it doesn't seem like they need protein. Humans, because of our genetics, we need to take on protein to build muscle. But if you're just genetically superior, it means that your genetics will just naturally put on muscle mass for you. That'd be great. There are some people who are just naturally more muscular. That must be a great situation to be in. But yeah, horses, just amazing animals to have that kind of muscle mass. And this is the other thing that people say, oh, how did dinosaurs get so big? It's all to do with genetics. If you have enough growth hormone, like some humans have an excessive growth hormone, and it's actually a condition, like a disease, where they keep on growing and they get to, you've seen like the tallest people in the world, can get to 8 foot, even taller than 8 foot, maybe 8.5 feet tall because of their growth hormone. If you are given enough growth hormone, you'll keep on growing. So yeah, if you're just given a bunch of that, say for example, the dinosaurs, they would have had a hell of a lot of that, and they just grow to the size that they are genetically determined to grow to. So it's not that they, ate loads and loads and loads of protein and grew. It's all to do with but anyway, your genetics. But let's move away from genetics now. But yeah, horses, just mentioning that. I hope your horse gets well soon. Thank you for that, Anna. Right, let me just quickly jump into the PayPal window. So thank you for that, Tammy. Maria donated £1.59. So thank you for that, Maria. And the message is, hi Phil and everyone, I'm hiding in the background today, not feeling well, spike those likes. So thank you for that, Maria, and get well soon. I'm sure everybody in that live chat room wishes the same for you. So get well, Maria, as well. And I'm just going to scroll up because Karen has donated £3.98. Thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, hi Phil, I'm just going to see if I can get this on screen. I think these are getting a little bit more up to date with the donations, so we might be able to have a scroll down to the question. Hi Phil, just for fun, from the book of questions from Gregory Stock, if you could have free unlimited service for 5 years from a chef, chauffeur, housekeeper or personal secretary, which one would you choose? Thanks for all you do and for being you. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that, Karen. And for me, it would have to be what I've already said earlier in this live stream about having a secretary. I would, take that, because it would have to be maybe just somebody who can deal with some of the admin stuff that, if this is something that I can literally decide, right, they can be an expert in something, then I would like to give the secretary all of the stuff that I know about with, music production, the videos that I've recorded, the kind of music that some of the bands do. That, some people ask me questions about videos that I might have done 2 years ago, but I still think that I can answer questions on those. So yeah, if I could have a secretary, then it would be somebody who also knows about all the stuff that I know about, which I know is crazy. But if it's like, something, if you could, ask a genie or something to come up with that, then that's what I would do. But I just think anybody maybe doing some kind of admin would probably help me out in some way, shape or form. But thank you for that, Karen. I think the problem will be when people, get to grips with how much there is to do, they'll think, I'm not doing that for free because that's going to take me like 6 hours a day. And, you've got to pay me to do that because obviously it's like a full-time job. So, I think it's just the quantity that, at the moment I can keep up because I don't mind, because it's my channel and because it's me doing everything, I don't mind literally doing it all day and then going to sleep and then waking up and starting another day. And I saw a funny quote on, I think it was Instagram, I'm not sure, but it was something along the lines of, I can't remember it exactly, but people said, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And then it was something like, it followed up with, but they don't mention that you will be working for every hour of your life because that's what it takes to do what you love. And I very much agree with that, you get to do what you love, but you're then self-employed. So if you suddenly stop doing that, it means that you won't be, successful. You won't be keeping those wheels turning. You then eventually won't be earning the same money and everything will unfortunately fall apart. So it's all reliant on you. And so doing what you love is very much a 24/7 deal in order to do that, because doing this kind of thing, people that do other things that they might not enjoy, they might work 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, but then in the evening you can kind of go home, watch TV, relax. On Friday night you can go home, relax, watch TV, and then you get a Saturday and a Sunday off where you're not actually doing anything work-wise. And that I know a lot of people who've got jobs that they don't enjoy doing and they would all like to do something that they do enjoy doing. And it's such a competitive workplace that doing something that you enjoy doing is very difficult, and it pretty much will take every single hour, every single minute of every single day that you have to put into it. But that's kind of part of the deal, and I think it's very much something that I'm quite happy with doing it. But I think if somebody else came in and had to do that same amount of work, they wouldn't be happy with it because it's not what they want to do. Whereas I'm quite happy doing it 24/7. So anyway, I believe that my lights are, I tried to charge the batteries because they only had 10% left, but it's obviously not going to be enough. It's going to get a little bit dark. Let me just see. What I've noticed is when I put my hand in front of the camera like this, it kind of tended, when the lights are on, when they are working, it tended to then make it brighter. Obviously the lights are dying, so it's not going to work, but every time I did that it made it brighter, which is good. But it's going back to now where everything looks really black, including my t-shirts, which aren't actually black, they're quite faded, and it makes my hair look black as well. But anyway, let's get into tonight's cover video. I'm just rambling on, but thank you for the donations. I'm just going to scroll up because Carla donated £4.43 as well, so thank you for that, Carla. That is a straight up donation. And Stanton has donated £50, so thank you for that, and a very kind donation. And it says, you rock it. Hello Phil, taking some time for myself and I'm enjoying your shows when I take the time to see them. Loved your Clapton auto-tune segment, rock on, and hello to all the mods and fans of your show. Your friend King Nero. So thank you for that, Stanton, or King Nero, as Stanton is known in the live chat room. But thank you for that kind donation. I'm just going to scroll up because Lauren has donated £25 as well. Thank you for that, Lauren. And the message is spike the likes with a thumbs up. Great idea, by the way. We're aiming for 410 likes tonight, so it's a huge target. We need every single thumbs up that we can muster. If you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, if you could, that would be much appreciated. It helps this live stream to get out there a bit more, but for the channel to grow on the whole. And let me just give a quick plug of the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. If you are a Facebook user, you can head over to that group and hang out with everybody from the live chat room who has joined in there as well. And that's where Vince hosts the after party as well after the live streams, so you can get involved over there. Thank you, Lynn, as well, who has donated £59 and 68 pence. Thank you for that very kind donation. Lynn says, Phil, love the fitness segment. Wondering what your thoughts on dark green leafy vegetables, i.e. kale. So thank you for that, Lynn. And I mean, pretty much, any kind of vegetables are, great, as, they're going to give you vitamins and minerals and things that, there's a reason that, I don't particularly like vegetables, but there's a reason that the foods that don't taste that interesting, there's a reason that they don't taste interesting is because they are probably good for you. Everything that tastes really nice is probably bad for you, but there is a bit of a crossover that you can get where, if you can use particular foods and season them well, and sweet potato is something that I eat instead of white potato, because white potato my body doesn't like at all, but sweet potato is quite nice when you I was going to say when you put a bit of pepper on there and maybe a bit of butter, but again, butter, you got to watch out for that, because that's obviously going to be saturated fat depending on the butter that you use. But yeah, with vegetables, I would say that for me, when I was exercising, I was just pretty much just focusing on my protein intake. I would have pretty much maybe 1 or 2 meals a week that would have either spinach or broccoli, I'm trying to think, or cauliflower, beans, like runner beans, not baked beans that we have here in the UK, but green vegetables, and generally vegetables that have colour to them. Will be the best for you, and also not overcooked. So this is something that a lot of people, when they're cooking their vegetables, they cook them to a point of being really soft, and therefore it means you're cooking out all of the minerals. I think it's called al dente or something, where I think that's used with pasta, but it's when it's al dente when it's really soft. I can't remember, but I'm not a chef. But you want to have you don't want to have it al dente, I think, which means that it's more solid and you're maintaining the goodness of the vegetable when you're cooking it. But anyway, that's something for chefs and not myself. As for kale, it's not something that I have eaten in the past, so I don't really know a lot about it. But yeah, pretty much any vegetables are great because a lot of their content is water as well. When you break it down as to what makes up vegetables, like broccoli, for example, that I mentioned, it's got a high percentage of water, and it means it's not going to have a lot of calories in it. So you can eat a hell of a lot of broccoli if you want to, and you're not going to put on lots of weight, because like I said earlier in the whole fitness segment, it's about the calories and the amount of calories in the food, but what makes up those calories, because every calorie isn't equal. For example, protein, like I said, that if it's not used, then it just goes through your system. Anyway, thank you for that, Lynn. And I'm going to scroll up because Jeannie has donated £5. Thank you for that, Jeannie, and says rock on Phil. And scrolling up again because Carla has donated £10. Thank you for that, Carla. And the message is, my cousin was huge, had to have his pituitary gland removed. He ended up larger than Andre the Giant. He was about, and his whole body was huge. Died mid-50s. So thank you for that, Carla. And yes, that's again, that example of Andre the Giant, who's a wrestler who again, it's this constant release of growth hormone that means that you're just going to keep on growing. And of course, yeah, the pituitary gland is going to be releasing hormones. So thank you for that, Carla. And this is the problem that, I mean, even, Andre the Giant, even being a wrestler, as he aged, he obviously had back problems and couldn't move very well, and then they had to make sure that when he was wrestling that he wrestled in a particular way that was safe for his back, because the bigger the body gets, the body then struggles to cope with it. And it's the same for every large body. So when people talk about, having heart problems because they might be really overweight or obese or morbidly obese, it's exactly the same for bodybuilders that I've mentioned before. Bodybuilders are putting on muscle mass, but it's exactly the same for their heart as being obese. They now have to send all of this extra tissue, blood, and your body struggles with doing that because the heart, is a muscle. It means it is having to work harder. So this is why so many bodybuilders, competitive bodybuilders, who have to take obviously steroids and growth hormone and things to make their muscles that size, that's why they have heart problems, and so many have died young from heart disease and heart failure, because it's exactly the same as being very overweight, that your heart is having to supply more tissue. And it is a bit of, it's ironic that with bodybuilders they look really healthy on the outside, but it can more often than not be exactly the opposite on the inside, because the heart isn't designed to work that hard. So yeah, certainly something to be wary of, especially with the recreational use of steroids, which unfortunately is happening more and more, with guys especially going down the gym and just wanting to look more muscular. They'll start taking steroids rather than just accepting their natural limitations. And whenever I used to work out, I would get to my natural limitation, like for example, when I exercised for the That's Metal video that I show occasionally here, that's just my natural limit, maybe towards the, I would say almost to the limit. I could probably get maybe a little bit better than I got in that video for muscle mass, but I'm quite happy with where my body stops. And everybody will have a particular level that they get to, and year on year, maybe if you worked out for 10 or 20 years, you might be able to put on a little bit more muscle mass, but you're never going to look fake. Like your muscles aren't going to be like balloons. So yeah, as soon as you start getting to that, you're asking your heart to do something it wasn't really designed for. If you just accept your natural limitations, then your heart is still natural. Your heart is going to be able to deal with that. It's when you start putting extra demands on your heart that are above and beyond what you can naturally, the amount of testosterone, for example, that you can naturally produce, means that your muscles will stop at a certain point, because the body says, okay, that's the limit that we can work at, and that's the most efficient we can be. You don't want to start trying to make yourselves, say to your body, oh no, be more efficient, have bigger muscles. The heart will say, it doesn't work like that. I'm not designed to have muscles, the size of a leg on your arm. So anyway, thank you, Carla, for that donation. We are going to be jumping into tonight's, we've had fitness, diet, I can't remember what else, but we are going to be jumping into the cover for tonight, which I can see is, let me end the poll, because I think it's going to be Don't Slow Down that has been voted for tonight. So let me wait for that to come through. It is, 57% for Don't Slow Down. Thank you guys for voting. And by the way, we're still looking for thumbs up. 328, meaning by the end of the live stream, we're looking for, this is going to be difficult, maybe 82? Is it 82 people that we're looking for in order to have the pick roulette next week? I'm not sure whether that's right or not. No, it would be 82, so 92, maybe. So yeah, my maths is not particularly good today. I needed to go to 330 because then it will be 80. So yeah, 82. Maybe I was right to begin with. Somebody else can maybe clarify in the live chat room as to how many likes we need. I think it's probably going to be 82. That's what I'm going to go with. So let's jump into tonight's cover video. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you after. Rock! And there we have it. That was my cover of Don't Slow Down by Mr. Mister. One of those bands that, yes, a band of my youth growing up. That was one of the takes that we had in the car. But I'm a big fan of Mr. Mister. Just that sound, hard rock mixed. I mean, it's more like melodic hard rock. And maybe pop rock. There's a lot of kind of mainstream elements in there, but that was my cover of a song that is actually on my workout playlist, at least when I did work out before I did my arm in. But anyway, thank you guys for voting for that tonight and for requesting that over on Patreon. So I have turned on the fan next to the computer just on the desk here because things are getting a little bit warm. I think it's still, let me just have a quick look on my phone that it doesn't even say. I think it's still, I was going to see if it said the temperature, but I think it's still probably around 20, maybe a little bit more than that, which is still quite warm for the evenings, but yeah, nowhere near what it was earlier in the week. So let's get organized, and I think we're pretty much okay. Let me just jump into that super chat window actually, because we had another donation from Stardust Unicorn who donated $5, so thank you for that. And Richard, oh no, Stardust Unicorn said spike the likes everyone, great idea there. If you can hit that thumbs up, it would be much appreciated. 345, perfect timing, great time to look at that likeometer, perfectly in sequence. And I mean, we're aiming for 410. It is crazy. And yeah, I don't know if we're gonna make it by, I mean, we're gonna be towards the end of the live stream. We'll probably run over by a few minutes tonight considering all of the fitness talk that we've been going through, but thank you Stardust Unicorn for that. Richard has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Richard. The message is thank you for discussing Eric Clapton's singing. He's one of my favourite singers, so no problem. We had a couple of videos on Eric recently. The unplugged version of Layla, and then the plugged-in version of Layla. This is the other thing about unplugged performances, is that a lot of people say, oh, what constitutes being unplugged? Because they're most certainly still plugged in. It generally just tends to be more of an acoustic setup, but it's still electric. You still probably have an electric bass in there. I think with the unplugged version that Eric did, we still had electric bass, and it's still going through amplifiers, so it's not literally unplugged. You still need a microphone. It's just a more of an acoustic arrangement of a particular track is what you tend to get on unplugged. And then for a standard performance, obviously it's going to be more like the original, which we had more recently with Eric's performance. And was that last night's video? That might have been last night's video. Everything tends to kind of blend into one, and just keeping track of everything is difficult, but I believe that was last night's video. Another video is coming your way, by the way, tomorrow night. But thank you for that, Richard. And Jennifer has donated $5 again. Thank you for that, Jennifer. The message is, Phil, crazy question. Have you ever hurt your neck headbanging? Makes my messed up one watching you. Thanks again. So thank you for that. And then Jennifer donated again $5 saying, oops, meant to say, it makes my messed up one hurt. Watched you do that. Stay cool. So thank you for that again. And I don't really headbang. Not properly. I might do a headbang that is kind of throwing your hair around a bit, but people that headbang properly, that really go for it, then yeah, I probably would hurt my neck if I did that. But I do tend to not do it with too much intensity. And I'm not much of a headbanger anyway. I tend to just kind of listen to the music a little bit more rather than, also being into hard rock and not really listening to kind of metal and heavy metal especially. I think with heavy metal it tends to be more of a headbanging thing going on, whereas with hard rock, melodic hard rock, you'll get a little bit of it here and there, but generally it's not something that I would do. I'd be listening to the music and probably just taking it in and concentrating on that aspect of it. But thank you for that, Jennifer. And Laurelie has donated $10 and says, I volunteer for tribute, pick Roulette. So thank you for that, Laurelie. Let me make a note of that because we will be jumping into that very soon. I think we have maybe one picture to look at tonight. Let me get the background up on screen, and then I'll see if I can go and find which picture, or if we do have a picture to look at tonight. And yes, we do. Here is the picture, and this is from Sue. And I believe that Sue wrote with this that it's her Wings of Pegasus hoodie. So thank you for this, Sue. And as everyone can see, a little bit of a play on words there with the saxophone, but the Wings of Pegasus hoodie there. And again, guys, if you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, it's in the tray underneath this video, or there's a link in the description below, so you guys can click on that and it will take you through to the spring.com store, where the t-shirts and the caps and the hoodies and all of that cool stuff is. But thank you for that, Sue. And I think that's the only picture for tonight. So we are going to be moving on to the pick roulette, and we will be having the Moises roulette as well, which means that somebody will be going away with that year's subscription to the Moises app, which you can either use yourself or you can give it to anybody else if they're into music or are a musician themselves and you want to use it for practicing, then you can pass it over. But let's get the pick roulette wheels up on screen, and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock! So let's get the roulette wheel up on screen, and there it is. Let me see if I can maybe move it up a little bit. That's a bit better. Right, so this is the first of the wheels. If this is your first pick roulette, the darker segments here are the t-shirts. If we land on one of those, then we have a t-shirt roulette and somebody wins a signed custom-made Wings of Pegasus t-shirt. So if you get landed on here, then you win a signed Wings of Pegasus pick. And we'll be doing the Moises wheel after this. So this is for the signed Wings of Pegasus pick, where Laurelie is the top tip. And I haven't seen Laurelie's name anywhere, so it'll probably take me about a year to try and find it. So let's just give it a spin, and let's see who's going to win. As I say all the time, if you want to double your chances of winning in the pick roulette, then make sure that you tune in on Tuesday night's live streams as well, because we do one on a Tuesday and on a Saturday. We always have the pick roulette when we reach the likes goal. And by the way, spike the likes. We're going to need, I think, a bit of a spike before the end of the live stream in order to hit the targets. But anyway, oh, there was Laurelie. We just went past Laurelie, so it wasn't to be tonight, but here we go. We're slowing down. It's Billy, Julia, maybe Teresa. And there it is. It's Teresa who has won tonight. So congratulations to you. You have won the signed Wings of Pegasus pick. So commiserations to everybody else, Laurelie included, who was the top tip for tonight. But Teresa, if you can let yourself be known to Carla in that live chat room, that would be much appreciated, so that she can get everything that she needs from you in order to get the Wings of Pegasus pick signed, well, not signed, but the signed Wings of Pegasus pick sent off to you. So thank you for entering, everyone. As always, we're going to now have the Moises wheel. So let me see if I can get this on screen. Let's click on that one. I just have to make sure that I pick the right wheel, and this is the correct one. So again, I'm just going to brief you guys that whoever this lands on, if you can let yourself be known to Carla again, that's all going to be part of the deal. So then we can just make a note. I'll make a note of who wins here as well. But you have to be in it to win it. That is always part of it. You have to be in the live stream when we do the roulette wheels, regardless of what the prize is that is up on or up for grabs, but on offer. Anyway, I'm going to give this wheel a spin, and we're going to see who's going to win. And again, this is for the Moises app, for a year's subscription to the app. And normally you'd have to pay for a whole year or pay monthly. So this is going to be great for whoever it lands on. And it's just a great app. I did a video on it recently, so check that out on the channel if you do get a chance, which will show you how to use it and everything. Or if you do pass it on to somebody else, then they will be able to know how to use it from that video on my channel. But we are slowing down. And is it Laurie or Donna? It always goes a little bit further. There it is. It's Donna who has won, and it's not an autographed t-shirt. It is the Moises app. This is the Moises app giveaway wheel. So congratulations to you, Donna. Ignore this bit at the top here. It's you have won the year's subscription to the Moises app. So if Donna can let herself be known in that live chat room, that would be great. But I'm going to just make a note anyway. Just like that. So congratulations to you, Donna. Commiserations to everybody else. But we will be spinning again because I have more of these subscriptions to give away. So make sure that you tune in on Tuesdays and Saturdays for these wheels, because you could be going away with that prize of a year's subscription to the Moises app. So congratulations to the winners tonight. Let me get everything back on screen and get organized, because I'm now going to say that the entries for next week's Pick Roulette are open, but whether we hit the target or not, I do not know, because we're pretty much at the end of the live stream. It's 1:20 and it's we are at 361 likes. So thank you everyone for hitting that thumbs up and getting us that close. I think we're going to be looking towards you guys in the catch-up crew in order to get us a little bit closer to that target. Unfortunately, if we do hit the target after the live stream, then it means we don't have a Pick Roulette. It's only for when we hit the target during the live stream, but these targets are there to try and hit even after the live stream. So I'm looking at you guys in the catch-up crew. If you could hit that thumbs up, that would be great. Right, let's just, we are going to be calling things to a close very soon. We're going to need a mammoth spike of the likes, so if you haven't hit that thumbs up, that would be much appreciated. But we are looking for like 44 or third. Oh, this is 42, something like that. So we're looking for 42 people to suddenly jump into the live chat room and hit the thumbs up. So yeah, not sure that's going to happen, but let's try and squeeze in a riff of the week. And let me get organized on the screen. And by the way, if you do want to enter, if a miracle happens and we do get up to 410 likes for tonight, then we type @Carla Murray in order to tag Carla in our comment, and then we type I agree, like that. So you can copy what everyone's doing in the live chat room to get your name on that wheel. If it does get spiked in that, or on that likeometer, we're at 376. So we did have a little spike of the likes. Thank you guys for doing that, which means that it takes us to within 34 more likes required to get up to 410. But it is a huge target, biggest target we've ever aimed for during a live stream since the beginning of the channel. So yeah, it is a crazy number, but I can see lots of numbers going through the screen now, and these are for the riff of the week. So let me just go to the screen that I need to go to, because Laura gives me the updated list of the riffs, the uplated riffs. I'm not sure what my brain said there, but anyway, the updated riffs. Thank you, Laura. Oh, it took the L from Laura's name and put it in the word updated. Still, I don't know how my brain does these things. It moves letters around, different words, and I come up with these words that don't exist, and then I only figure out afterwards what my brain has done. Anyway, it just does things on its own. Let's have a little look for some numbers. So Linda says number 44. Did we have number 44? Let's have a little look down the list. And no, we didn't have 44, so that is a contender. 22, 48. I think what we'll do is we're just going to jump into number 44 because it's almost at the end of the live stream. So a riff of the week 44. Click on that. Get rid of that. click on this. And it was taking a little while to load. I want to make sure that we don't get a sneak preview. But what we do get is an advert. So I'll watch that so you guys don't have to watch it. And then let's pause that. Okay, I think we're pretty much ready to go. Let me get this up on screen so that you guys can see it as well. And there we go. Took a little bit of time to load, but here we go. So this is the riff of the week, and again I'm just looking for the name of the song. You can give me the name of the band if you want to do that as well, but it's the riff of whatever song it is. So let's have a listen to this and see if I can remember it and see if you guys know what it is. Let's have a listen. It's going to be a more difficult one. And there we have it. So, I mean, this is a riff that I've taught many times. So I'm going to be looking out for anyone who's going to name this riff. Let's have a look into the live chat room. Nobody's come up with it yet. And I mean, somebody has got to get this one, surely. I mean, it's intermediate. I think it's probably going to be a little bit more difficult for people to get. But actually, let me get rid of the screen. I'm going to keep an eye on that live chat room. And Robert says Alice Cooper. It's not Alice Cooper. And I can see that the first correct guess is from Dwayne, who's about to go through, who says The Pretender, Foo Fighters. So well done, Dwayne. And Rad Flying V says Pretender as well. Billy Julian says A Rainbow Song. So not quite there. Sam says Spike the Lights, great idea. Brian says Since I've Been Loving You. And Rad Flying V's going through saying Pretender, Foo Fighters again. So Karen says Pretender as well. So we're getting a few correct guesses, but it is true that obviously a lot of people don't know this riff, and it was an intermediate one. Whenever I put the symbol at the beginning, that's always my own approximation of how many people will know what the riff is. And yeah, with the beginner ones, I think that's where everybody gets it instantly, and everyone gets the right answer in the live chat room. But yeah, it is a little bit more difficult tonight. But really cool riff. Can't beat a bit of Foo Fighters every now and again. So thank you guys for playing Riff of the Week, and we're going to be calling things to a close now. We have reached a total of 386 likes for tonight's live stream, so thank you guys for doing your best and hitting that thumbs up to get us as close as we can to 410. But it's always going to be the case that especially with a target that's the biggest we've ever gone for, that eventually the targets were gonna go off into the distance. So thank you so much for trying your best, and we are looking at you guys in the catch-up crew in order to get those thumbs up and get that likes maybe to 410. I always keep a little bit of an eye out on the comments because I check all of the comments even on the live streams. I also keep a little look in the comments to see if we do hit the target with the catch-up crew as well. So if you can hit that thumbs up and you're watching this in the future, that would be great as well. So we are going to be calling things to a close now. I do believe that we're up to date with everything and all of the windows. So thank you guys for your donations and all of your support over on Patreon. I always say that it makes a huge difference, the donations during the live streams, and it definitely does. It's all very much just something that I don't expect. I never take that for granted. So thank you guys so much for all of your very kind donations during the live streams and all of your support, the foundational support that I have over on Patreon from you guys as well, that do pop up in those live chat rooms and super chat donation windows and PayPal donation windows. So thank you guys so much for all of your support. I am going to be doing another video tomorrow night, of course, so stay tuned for that one. And then we're going to be live streaming again on Tuesday night, and analysis videos coming your way on a Wednesday and Friday. So I hope you guys have had an interesting live stream with all of the fitness and stuff that we've been talking about. A little bit random, but I did pre-warn you with the title of this live stream that it might go in that direction, and it certainly did. So I'm going to see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you for joining me. It's great to touch base with you guys in a live setting, and head over to the after party with Vince over on that Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. Join in with that. And I hope you have a great rest of the weekend. Try and stay safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world that we live in. And I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock.